What's going on, guys? Welcome to Collecting Keys. I'm Mike DeHaan here with Dan Austin, Dylan Cook, and new friend of the show, Eric Rubin from Atlanta. Eric's a longtime listener. We know him way back to when we were in Ryan Dossey's little wholesale program many years ago. We've connected a handful of times over the years. But just really quick, give us a 30-second intro, Eric, who you are, what you do, why people should care that you're here.
I'm like you said, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm Eric Rubin. I'm a broker. I do commercial real estate, leasing management, and essentially operations, looking to maybe add some verticals to that, but I'll save that for another when I'm not boring you to death.
Yeah, you're a good real estate operator. You told us before the show you own some grave plots you're looking to flip. If anybody wants to buy some of those, you can hit him up.
Yeah,
that's a whole business.
Did you ask if they were in Atlanta?
Yeah, like if people want to buy your grave plots, where should they be looking to get buried?
It's actually a very premier memorial place in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay. Memphis. Oh man, that's great. So that there's a whole industry there. Like I'm really excited for the grave flipping guru to come through. That's like I guarantee you there's an industry that exists that none of us know about.
For sure. Yeah, I think you buy them from guys that wear like gold rings and like really tacky suits.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they come walking over people's flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
I think graveyards are like churches where they don't pay like the property taxes. Like it's super low based on the amount of land that they actually have.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Can we go vertical on these plots if that's the case?
Well, I think they do in Prague, or something like that. Like they ran out of space and they had to go like up.
Oh, that's
or like in New Orleans, they're below sea level, so that's why they have all the mausoleums. So that way nobody floats away.
I think they've done this in parts of Asia as well, where there's like very, very dense population. But I don't know. It's just such a silly.
I never thought about that. What do you do with all those bodies? That's a lot.
I just looked up just on the auditor on where I live. You can look up by land use code, and cemetery is one of them. And the highest transaction of all the cemeteries in Hamilton County, Ohio, is $750,000 back in 2019.
Damn.
Decent part of town. I want to see how much land this actually is.
Do they buy more land, or they like sold the cemetery?
I think whoever owned it sold the cemetery. It's a couple acres. I mean,
I feel like there's a whole like A&E reality show about this, dude. Grave diggers. They have like these like crusty dudes. It's like Duck Dynasty, but it's guys that like run graveyards and like the whole thing.
Someone's going to try to do a subscription to this. Like every year you got to pay your graveside or some shit.
Right? Oh yeah, let's go Netflix.
Well, I think more and more people are doing, cremation.
Yeah,
that's the business.
I think that's true too.
That's super scalable too.
It's
more flames.
It's a much easier business. It's a one-time purchase. You buy the oven, right? And now it's just a marketing channel. You can pull motivated lists. It's not very ethical, right? But you just go to like the ICUs.
Mike,
and
you're onto
boards.
something. Let's dig into this. Let's pull.
There is the seniors list on property.
Oh man. Dude, that's what you do when you're walking to senior properties. You bring your other business, your side hustle, which is your cremation business, and you just leave a business card there.
Well, is this like a part? Is this like a part of life that happens though? It's like when you start to cross a certain age, you start to get like these mailers for like AAA, like some of this stuff that like old people get. Yeah. Do you think that like when you cross an age, you start to get like a cremation services? Like into those mailing cycles for those companies?
AARP, in your AARP.
It was AARP, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
and they open up AARP and there's a cremation service. It's got to be.
Do you think they have like cold callers, like Filipinos that are like,
God.
Hello, sir, do you have plans for after you die?
They have an AI caller doing it?
Yeah.
Man, I hope not. This is the whole problem, like private equity getting too involved in
when private equity gets into the death industry. Oh my God. They'll be there for sure.
I'd be surprised if they weren't already, unless they figured out that like, hey, it's it's going in the other direction.
I don't think it's
trending up.
They're typically going to buy cash flow though, right? So I don't know. I mean, it's not exactly a subscription model. You know what I mean?
But
it's a one and done.
It's a one time. But like, I would say there's probably potential for repeat business because people tend to, like, if they're couples, go to the same place, you know? So like every one customer is basically two.
So you're going to get like, it's all referral business. It's shows what a good job you do.
Man, like if anyone has any insight on this, you should send me an Instagram message at Mike_invest. Because I'm actually like fascinated now that we're thinking about it. Because I'm sure there's a whole model there that I don't know. Like my extent of knowledge.
And it's all emotional based. And that if you can get people when they're at an emotional height, that's like weddings, funerals. Like I remember whenever, I don't know how many funerals you guys have planned, but like they'll show you all the things and they're like, well, you know, and it's all going under the ground. If someone's getting buried, like it's all going under the ground. So you're never going to see it again. You're never going to see those clothes. Hopefully you're never going to see the clothes, and then there's the capsule that the casket goes inside of. So honestly, that casket is never going to be seen. It's going to be seen inside of the capsule that keeps stuff from like.
Interesting. I didn't know they had it outside of the casket.
Yeah, because otherwise the casket rots and then it caves in, like the hole caves in.
I just assumed that's what we all thought would happen, and that's just part of the cycle.
Dude, it's like a big like
interesting.
Thing. Yeah. Wow. But yeah, I don't know. I watched that show 6 Feet Under many years ago on HBO, which is a great show. That's the extent of my knowledge. Is it's about a family that runs like a funeral home.
A funeral parlor.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. It's regarded as one of the best shows ever. So
I used to get mistaken for Eric Balfour sometimes.
Who?
Balfour?
Was Eric Balfour? Wasn't he in that show? Am I mistaken?
Oh, is that one of the actors? Man, if you're talking about like people like that, I like actors, singers. I am so bad at that game.
Oh, I could see it. Wow, especially if you pencil, if you got a pencil mustache. Yeah, dude, he's
I'll see myself out.
I don't know if he's in that. I think actually he is. Yeah, for four seasons. He's also in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Wow, so he is pretty good looking.
Yeah, but anyways, so as of today, SpaceX making a nice little correction, down 30%.
I don't know if that's the real number. I don't know.
That's what it was. That's from its peak. That's what Dylan said. So for all the people
Dylan also said it would crash last week.
It didn't.
And it would be
go back and listen. No, it didn't.
Well,
I don't know what you said.
According to everyone in the comments, you aged like milk, Dylan.
Yeah,
you were wrong.
Well, it's funny because.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Eric. I want to hear what
I was going to say, I heard something about SpaceX. The IPO is like, if you're buying it, you're betting because the cash cow is Starlink, and then it's renting out the data centers or space to other folks that are going to use the data centers. And then you're betting that he's going to be able to get the Starship thing to work, and he's going to be able to build data centers in space, and Elon won't die. Those are the things that have to happen in order for this to work out for you.
I saw a tweet that basically said like, oh, I missed out on Tesla. I'm not going to miss out on SpaceX. And so that they were a net buyer. And if that is your train of thought, then I would not take other recommendations from you for stock picking. Because
I'm definitely not taking your recommendations because I missed out, bud.
Well, this is a good segue. My first thing I want to say first is that Tesla IPO'd somewhere around $2 billion. So they have the runway. As SpaceX IPO, they're already like the 7th largest company in the world. So to pursue that same kind of growth, they have to be over a $5 trillion company within a couple of years, which is still like what is that, 2.5, 3x? Like,
yeah. But they're the first of their kind. They're the first space company that we.
It doesn't make any sense at any kind of valuation profit metric at all.
Can I say one thing to just disagree with you? Nobody can say that about Bitcoin either, but you believe in Bitcoin.
Ooh, I fully agree with that.
Because there's not even any history, dude. There's not even any history on Bitcoin.
There's history since 2009.
Oh my God, dude.
What?
Were you born in 2009?
How much revenue does Bitcoin produce?
Well, that's okay. So then we're talking about a stock versus, and that's the same argument with gold. And gold's has a $20 trillion asset.
No, I got gold in my watch.
Well, gold actually has like a tangible use that people use all the time. It's an electronic.
Hilarious.
I love it, dude. Only because we agree that it's worth it's valuable.
Right.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I guess
so,
but you could use gold for things. Like, don't they make like?
Dude, I guarantee your
Stuff
computer
out
that
of
you're on right now has gold in it.
it's got gold in it. There's definitely a physical application, but Dylan, if you just get rid of that and say it's a store of value, people think Elon's a store of value.
If they want to make that bet,
hold on. Are we going to be able to close this loop that we're going to be talking about Graves and Elon? Did we just bring that full circle?
Yeah, we did.
That's amazing.
The point I think I wanted to make with that when it comes to investing in general is that there is a book by Annie Duke a couple of years ago called Thinking in Bets, and she was a professional poker player. And all it means is like the outcome doesn't always mean that you made the right decision. Right? Just like Correct. You could be placing against a 16 in blackjack, and then like if you still like, you see what I'm trying to say. Yes, so that's my analogy with the SpaceX stuff. Like, yes, people are like, oh, I made 10, 15 grand, and like because of that, I made the right decision. And to me, that's not how you should look at investing in general.
Is that to focus on the processes, not the results kind of thing? If you do the processes right enough times in a row, like you'll win versus
just do the things that have a higher probability of working out in your favor. That's the gist.
I mean, if I can be honest, anytime I've ever bought a stock, I did not follow the process because I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm just like, I think that's a good company. I'm going to gamble with it, I guess. I mean, I didn't buy SpaceX. I'm not on it. But anytime I bought a stock, like I don't know what I'm doing.
Also, you have to know when to sell. You have to know what the season is. I had Biogen stock for so long, and it went to the moon during COVID, and I was like, well, I'll take some chips off the table, but this is probably going to last a while. And then like a year later, it was half of what it was.
That's true. Yeah. Buying is right. The right time is important. Selling at the right time is equally important.
This is always why I've had difficulty, which is like just viewing investing in general, is because I don't understand how to realistically do it without it always being somewhat of a gamble. You know, I think that's why people say, like, if you do it over a long enough period of time, things will go up. But really what they're saying is, well, the dollar will devalue. So, yes, if you hold like a physical asset, it will go up more than cash, right? But like that's why I've always been pretty big on reinvesting in business, is because you actually have a direct impact on what the result is.
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh, that leads me into a big point I was going to bring up. I'm sorry, I'm such a fan. I'm a fan that gets to be on the show. That Drew was talking about. Y'all were talking about where to put money, and I think that comes down. You know, as a commercial real estate nerd, I think you always got to keep an eye on your discount rate. And somebody that was asking me about wholesaling recently, she has a high income job, and I was like, well. What are you looking to make? She was saying that she was looking to make $5,000 a month in a side hustle. And I was like, well, think of it like this. Like if you put money in a high yield savings account, probably 3%. If you put it into something else, maybe 10%. If you got another certificate or you did another thing in nursing, then you're probably, that's probably going to be even better. And then is the time and energy and money involved in wholesaling going to beat or equal that? And is it something you already know?
And the answer to that 99% of the time is you should not do wholesaling to make that extra side money, because it fucking sucks and it's a lot of work and it's outside your
it's not aligned with your skills. With your skill set.
I think this is something that I've really sort of changed my view on since I started making content now, 5 years ago, is for most people, if you have a high income W-2, you should just do that. Right? Like so many people, there's like a whole mantra around like leaving that and what that looks like. The failure rate is massive. And honestly, it's because you have a high W-2 doesn't mean that you're capable of like making your own money. You know, you were capable of getting an education and developing a network that was good enough to get you into that position to get that job. Right. And that is very, very different from creating your own income and your own value, which a lot of the time is the people that did not do great in school and did not necessarily have
not
that
typically
network.
The doctors, right?
You know?
Yeah, I think that there's some value in when you see somebody that their success rate, whether that's in like corporate business or they did really good in school because they became a doctor or a lawyer, they had a high capacity. It's usually because they actually have a really high capacity to conforming to whatever the boxes they're in, and then accelerating, right? Like you see the CEO of a lot of these companies, You have some exceptions out there, but a lot of times for the thousands of companies out there where there's a CEO making $2 or $3 million a year, you never heard of them. Like they're just really good at playing the corporate politics and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
They're never going to, when there is no box to fit into, like there's no template to be good at, like that's where they're going to fail. And so a lot of times in entrepreneurship, that's why they're not going to actually do good. And so they should just keep their $2 million a year salary at corporate, ABC.
Yeah. But instead what they do is, you're right, Eric. They're like, well, if I wholesale houses, I could get 10 grand a month. I'm like, you're already making 80 grand a month doing your fucking job. Just do that. Like, I would love to swap places with you, honestly.
Or get
that sounds sweet.
Buyback or something, and then that triples your income.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, it also comes down to businesses wanting to buy the building or a building to put their business in. I think, if you look at it a discounted cash flow method, like there's a way of figuring out what the right decision is, but you don't have to go on gut. And I mean, typically if you're looking for, that's going to be more of like a tax play than it is an income play, because if you put that capital into your business, you're probably going to get way higher return.
Yeah. That's a good point too.
Couldn't you pay yourself a little bit more as a business, like for renting it out as an expense, right? This help with like your P&L.
Oh God, I don't know.
I mean, yes, you can like if you go, but you can't use that on bank records because it's not like arm's length. So like if you were to try to go to a refinance, they're not going to give you the higher valuation based on that.
Yeah, sure.
But you're right, you could.
If you're getting a commercial loan where you're the, it's an owner occupied commercial loan where you're the main, and then it's probably like a percentage of the square feet. If you're over a certain amount where you're written out, where it's like a multi-tenant strip or something like that. All right, I'm going to shut up now. I feel like I've got so much pent up stuff for so many shows. No, I'm like, and I got to lay this in and all this.
Before you blow your wad, I do want to hear. I do want to hear. I want to hear, because I think it's actually fascinating. The micro salons that you've done. I want to hear about this because I think that's a cool thing.
Micro salons. This is a real thing.
Did you know about this? Okay, yeah.
No.
They're shipping container suites. They're 4 wide and 3 high. So they're 12 on each side. So a total of 24 in a standalone building on the side of it is in this development. And we found that, finding the highest and best use is what I'm here for. So there were some salon suite tenants in there. And then we just found that was kind of the best use for it. It was just making the adjustments for that use so that people could use it. Just because.
And is that like square footage based on like the amount of like a typical like salon person or salon whatever they would pay for like a chair?
We're probably somewhere in between a salon and a salon suite, because in the salon suites, they're typically going to be renting space from a landlord. Then they're going to carve it up into 100, 200 square feet. And then they're going to, depending on how they do plumbing, all that kind of build out stuff. And then they're going to rent that out, and they're just kind of taking the arbitrage. So all the big franchises that are PE backed or acquired, Blackstone or some of the big guys own. What we do is they're 320 square feet. So it's 8 by 40, just because that's the size, that's the rough dimensions of a shipping container. And then you lose a little bit because, you've got to have fire rated drywall. So it's double 5/8. It's, it's got wood framing, instead of like the metal framing. Typically that's because you're going to do the spray foam, and otherwise it would like push that metal framing out. And then just making sure the only issue with it is just kind of, you want to have enough control so that nobody does anything that's going to cause a problem, but you want them to have freedom to, have their own business.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And it rents more than you would per square foot for any other like retail or commercial stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you need to have something that's going to be a destination use, because you're not going to have the signage and the visibility that you would need for, maybe a food like F&B is probably going to need more like visibility and signage. But if your hair, if your nails, if your massage, if you're an injector, doing any of those kind of things, like, people aren't doing that on a whim. They're making an appointment and they're coming to you. They will find you. So you don't necessarily need,
the street traffic. I mean, it makes sense. It's like a modern strip mall, right? Like, honestly, if you drive past some of the old strip malls and there will be like, Kathy's Nails, like freaking tucked back there. No one's going to Kathy's Nails because she drove by,
I mean, back in the day, like a strip center, they didn't want too much food and beverage because that's going to be parking intensive. And, they would want the big box stores. They're going to want all the things that are going out of business now. But instead, like all the, now that I'm on the spot, I'm going to give it a shot, but I'm probably going to forget them. Like the 4 F's, and you got to just forgive. One's a PH, physicians, food, fun, and what's the other one? Something else. But it's essentially nails. Everybody wants nails. Everybody wants food. Everybody wants something that, people have to come to, something that,
I want a vape shop. I want a drive-through vape shop.
Oof. Nobody wants to have a vape shop or
really? It seems like they do well.
I feel like that's the mark of like this area is like
of trash
in the wrong direction.
Absolutely, that's why I wanted to be drive-through. I wanted to be drive-through.
Yeah,
Dan, we're in the Pacific Northwest though. These guys are all in like the South, the Midwest. Where we're at, it's different because like classy people here vape and do cannabis.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you drive down the street,
judgment.
like you should see like there's decent cars and stuff going to the cannabis shops. It's not like in the bad parts of town.
Yeah, you're right. The main intersection on the north side in Spokane, where Mike I live, has a new pot shop.
They also have right across the fentanyl leaners.
No, that's downtown.
Yeah, dude,
you sound ignorant. You're basically saying like all people in like third world countries are poor. It's not true.
Well,
there's a few wealthy, corrupt people.
Yeah, there's a few wealthy, corrupt people.
I'm in Atlanta, so these ladies doing hair, like this is the place to do it. Like I pull up, I've got the worst car in the lot.
And you know what they also probably do? Smoke vapes, Eric. If you had a vape shop next door, they would have a recurring business there. They'd be walking over there.
I do. I believe in all the addictive substance. Like I think nicotine is an amazing product, like personally, and I know people that use it. They use it.
Your stock picking should just be Peter Lynch style, where you just invest in things like you think so just like vices, like nicotine.
I am. That's what everybody says, dude. They're like, well, I'm stocking up on food in case the world ends. I'm like, nope, I'm stocking up on cigarettes and alcohol and bullets. Everybody needs those.
Doesn't coffee and olive oil have like the markups of like illicit drugs?
Oh, probably more.
Perfect.
I mean, like I can't even imagine some of that stuff. That's actually something you should stock up on if you can like keep it fresh in case shit gets really bad. Like, well, I was gonna say coffee. Like, can you imagine if like our entire supply chain collapses? How much like addicts would pay for a cup of good coffee?
Yeah, dude.
Like a shit ton.
I would pay a lot. I'm a coffee addict.
And that Last of Us, it's a like dystopian sort of storyline. There's like the whole thing is the main guy Joel. He like fucking kills people for coffee, dude. He like goes so far to get this coffee. He'll sell like anything for it.
What was the? This is kind of off topic, but not. What was the? There's a guy in GoBundance, a group who had a coffee syndication, like a farm out in like Peru or Chile or something.
The Green Coffee Company.
Yeah, how did that end up going?
I don't know.
It's still going. It's
still going. I mean, there's a lot of people who say it's going great. There's a lot of people who are like,
I think they're smoking opium like they're trying to go, but
yeah. So
it wasn't a pyramid scheme from what I know.
No, it was a real company.
It just wasn't. Yeah, it just hasn't done as well as maybe people had hoped.
Where they got wrecked was by all the tariffs and stuff. Right?
Guess they shouldn't have voted for Trump.
Yeah, but the funny thing is most of the biggest investors were like the biggest MAGA folks. So
were they?
I don't know. Yeah, absolutely. Of course they were.
Yeah,
they're rich white dudes in their 60s. What do you expect?
Good point.
Their website looks legit. I'm not gonna lie.
No, they're legit.
No, I think they're legit. I just don't think it's taken off as much because they've had to do several rounds, and I think people kind of are getting bummed.
So.
That's a problem.
My aunt had some friends in Jamaica, and you're aware. I don't know how true any of this is, and it's going from memory. But so let me preface with that. But like Blue Mountain Coffee in Jamaica is super famous.
Okay, I did not know that.
Faces.
You're not crazy, Eric.
All right, I am regretting getting into this because I'm getting some bagel faces. But apparently they also have a coffee farm there. And from the climate change, like I guess their
I already don't believe
altitude
it.
of some kind. It went from their farm being okay to being better than everything else in Jamaica. So I guess they're the premium.
They're the premium stuff. They're better than Kona
we can
coffee in
edit it
Hawaii.
out, right? Like we can pull that whole terrible story
dude,
out.
they don't edit anything I say that's stupid. You're keeping it. We're keeping all your stuff in too. Max isn't doing me any favors.
Are you from Atlanta, Eric?
No, I was born in Mississippi and I grew up in Tennessee. And then I moved to Los Angeles to be an actor.
I was going to say, 'cause you don't have like the Atlanta accent, like the Bill Clinton accent, which is so...
Well, he's from Arkansas.
Yeah, dude, you can't treat them all as the same. They're different states.
That's funny. There's that.
Yeah,
That's what I was
about
associating
mint
with.
juleps and all that.
Mint juleps, yeah. Dude, that sounds good.
It's funny. We have a sales rep that lives on the East Coast, and she was just in Portland for something, and she was back on the line today working, and she was like, "It's crazy. I'd never been to Pacific Northwest before. All you guys look exactly the same, and I now understand why you guys talk weird." And I was like, what do you mean we talk weird? She's like, there's like a Pacific Northwest accent that I didn't realize until I went there, and you guys all talk exactly.
Oh, interesting.
So much flannel.
Yeah, so much
flannel, facial hair, Patagonia, stupid boots.
Yeah, well, the U.S., I mean, it's a bunch of different countries all combined into one. I don't think people really realize how massive that is. Well, something that's been pretty funny, the World Cup's going on right now, and I've been really into this content of like people from these various countries that are like filming content about visiting the U.S.
I've seen some of this, yeah.
So you have like Japan is playing their games in Texas. So you have all this content of like Japanese people like going to barbecue places and like they speak like no English and all of a sudden they're getting like this freaking rib that's like this big and they're like, what the hell? And they're sort of like reacting to it and doing stuff.
There's some German dude that went viral here in Atlanta through
the Southeast. I've been seeing that. He basically had like they called like the classic American day where he went to like Texas Roadhouse for lunch. Like did like all this like random stuff. I think he went to like a strip club or something, and then he went to like the Waffle House at like 2 a.m.
That is a good American day in the Southeast. I think I've had that day before.
Right there.
Atlanta day.
Yeah.
But it's what's made me realize though is how diverse the U.S. is, which but it's interesting seeing that from the lens of people that come from somewhere that I would say is like equally as diverse, right? Because then you have people that are coming to like the Northwest, and like it's like the countries that are up here, I would say there's already a big presence of those countries. And so it's not really that noticeable. But like Japan to Texas is about as big of a dichotomy as it gets.
Yeah. You come to Seattle or the Pacific Northwest, like, and you're Asian, like, but you just think you're here.
Totally. we already used to. I mean, like Seattle and San Francisco are some of the largest Filipino populations in the world.
Really?
Oh yeah. There's tons of them there. I mean, half my friends at GU were Filipinos.
It's because we don't have a lot of sun over here.
Is that why they want to break from the sun in the Philippines?
Well, no. Have you ever seen, like, in particular in like Asian cultures, where they don't let their skin get sun on it because they're protecting it, like smart people?
Well, also you get less hot. That's like a hack of living over there.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's more of a class thing. Because then they've got like bleaching creams and stuff in Thailand and Cambodia. I would see them all over the place. Like
just they do like more fair skinned. They do like more fair skinned people. And
he didn't work outside. I mean, in America, it was the same up until recently.
What is Dylan doing? Dylan is all over the place.
No, I'm looking something up real quick, but I needed my phone.
His computer does not move with him.
That's not distracting at all.
You're not having your best day today, dude.
No, no one watches the videos anyway. They just listen in their car.
They watch your videos.
That's what you think. They watch your videos when you age like spilled milk.
Okay. Anyways, let's talk about something important, I guess, that we should chat about. I don't know. How's that Home Depot stock going? I feel like that's important to know what the economy's doing.
Home Depot stocks actually matter.
Eric, do you know this Jacob Navajo? It's Naviaux. He's Atlanta,
sounds
Georgia.
like a real person. Jacob
No,
Navajo.
I think he is. He got roasted on Twitter because he talked about retrading. Like basically purposely retrading.
That guy.
I saw this guy. Yeah, he was bragging about how he gets an extra 10 to 20% per deal. and how he doesn't see it as unethical because he only does business with that person once.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why it's not unethical.
Yeah. He said, yeah, if I did business with them all the time, I wouldn't do that. That's bad for business. But if it's just one time, who cares? That was like his main argument.
It's just not. He doesn't. I would like for him to Google the word ethical.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
I don't know. Whenever I was doing a lot of off-market stuff, like retrading was just the worst. I mean, and it was.
You only have to do it if it's justifiable. Like if you have a legit reason.
Even if you have a legit reason, it sucks. Like you're just like, gosh, dang it. Like,
especially because they're like, oh, we got to close before the next payment, so we want to close next week, and then you're rushing title. You're doing all the things as quickly as you can. And then, they feel like, oh, well, you're trying to retrade last minute. And it was just.
I just didn't know. Like, I feel like all the wholesalers and off-market people know each other in Cincinnati. And obviously Atlanta is much, much bigger. So I just didn't know if you being based in that local market, if you're like, yeah, I know that guy.
Atlanta, I don't know if it's more so. I know everybody makes fun of people for saying, oh, this is the most competitive. This is the most sketchy. But, man, a lot of people, I feel like they went from. They started wholesaling with a decent rap sheet.
Oh, you can go get your baby, Dylan. It's okay.
We're good.
See if she stopped.
Yeah.
Is she?
That's the monitor. I'm gonna have to unplug that.
Yeah, turn it off. You don't need that thing.
Yeah, dude. Just like I thought you were a cried out guy, Dylan. But
is he? Is that what you're supposed to do? Because I'm not a father, but I'm getting anxiety.
No.
Are you on your way to being a father?
No.
Or you're just getting
not even close. We're just from hearing the baby, and I'm like, should we do something, guys? Should we do something?
You get used to it.
Yeah, we're all fathers at this point, so it's fine. They'll be fine. But I mean, to the point of that guy though, like right now, just with how tight the industry is, there's so much sketchy stuff that's going on. I mean, we see it a ton on the lending side too. And the guys are just getting more brazen is the thing. Like that stuff's been going on forever. But the fact that now he's so disconnected from the big picture that he's kind of like bragging about that as like the way that he's making business work right now is stupid. But like on the lending side, we've seen such a huge uptick, I would say, over the last 8 months of like fraud and like different things that are just so blatant. It's crazy. We literally had a double close deal this past week that we canceled at the last minute because Dan did a quick courtesy search for this guy because he just like didn't feel right, and literally that day he had been indicted for fraud by the Department of Justice. This is like a DOJ thing that they posted, this dude that day, right? And then we canceled that loan, and then funnily enough Dylan calls me, and he's a friend of his gets reached out to by this guy that says like, oh, this company SLA Capital, they ran out of money to be able to do my loan. Can you do a double close for me?
No shit. So I didn't know that part of it.
Points.
Yeah.
Like the lender, or not the lender, the borrower was like, I'll give you 5 points just for this loan I need it for 5 days. That should be a red flag in and of itself.
Absolutely. That's also not true that it was going to take longer than that, because the way the recording works in this county is it was going to take 2 weeks. So the guy's a fucking liar.
Yeah.
And
we're crazy. How small the world is. Yeah, because it was, I think the borrower messed up because he mentioned SLA Capital. And then my friend was like, wait, Dylan knows SLA Capital, and then basically connected the dots. But these are legit 4 different states all involved here that aren't even close.
Yeah, I should put it out on the private lender channels and say, look out for that guy, because I didn't know that piece that he had reached out, but I'm very glad, because it was the morning of, I was going to wire the funds. I was like, something just doesn't feel right. Like his background check, he had excuses for everything. And it was one of those things where it's like, the data was telling me to not say yes, but the guy, he was a good talker and all that stuff, and I just did not feel right about it. And then so I did a quick random Google search, which you should honestly do anyways for your borrowers, just to see. Yeah. And it was like Gemini I had to have Gemini kind of curate all of the things that he was going to, he was in lawsuits for, So it's just like, you know what? I don't need your money.
If some of these people spent the amount of effort they did in actually just making money in an ethical way, then they wouldn't have to lie so much. The amount of effort they take to do what they're doing now is crazy.
You're working harder.
I know.
Exactly.
And the web of lies gets so huge across so many people. You're never going to keep it straight.
And the risk is so high.
Or like some of the silly stuff people do when like to try and avoid to do the right thing. Like we've had people like fake bank statements and do like the sketchy stuff like with their operating agreements and all these kind of things. And it's like, you realize if you had just done it correctly instead of like trying to like white it out and make it look the same, it would have been fucking like, what are you doing? Like just open the new bank account. Like we told you, it's not that big of a deal. It takes 10 minutes.
Can you ever like this, like, so do you just want to stop now, or do you want me to turn your fraudulent account into the authorities? Like to scare the shit out of them. Like,
yeah. Well, what we typically do is like, we'll like say, hey, just so you know, like we know what you're doing. Don't do that. like it's like, it's kind of like getting a slap on the wrist from like a cop if you've been speeding, where they're like, hey, slow down.
Yeah.
Well, people don't realize that you see this 1,000 times a day.
Exactly.
And they think they're the first one to ever do whatever this thing is. And it's like, I've seen this 1,000 times.
Or the worst is when people like very brazenly just like lie up front. And you're like, are you sure that that's the truth? And they go, yes. And then you catch them out like a week later. You're like, what are you doing? Like how many like weird converted properties we've had are like, so this isn't a co-living house. This is a standard rented property. Like, yes. You promise. Yes. And then you show up and like, okay, then how come you have bunk beds in every room? Every room has its own fucking thumbprint lock, right?
Yeah.
There's like
and why is the dining room turned into a bedroom?
Exactly.
It has HVAC running to it.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, just some kids I rent to. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I'm like, get out of here, bro.
At least make it a better lie, dude.
Let me ask you, I want to ask you guys this, and maybe this is just in the South, but when somebody leads with religion, is that just like
red flag?
It's a huge red flag.
Yeah,
it's always
red flag.
Or it's like I believe in whatever this is, and whatever their persuasion is.
Yeah,
that man, I hope that gets.
Or the guy that
came off very condescending.
No, we're from the Northwest. You don't have religion up here, so we talk about that all the time.
Yeah, you're good.
But it's just like. Oh man, like I get a lot of it here.
Oh, I bet. Or the guy that says, "I'm a straight shooter, man. I don't tell lies."
God. Or they have like a name that's like Integrity Properties or something.
Yeah, that's the best one. Yeah, Integrity Contractors, something like that. Yeah.
Totally.
Or what's like a good religious theme, like the gospel,
redemption.
Something like
born again contractors, and they're all like a bunch of toothless dudes hopping around the back of a van. Like, god damn,
seriously.
They got so much energy. I don't know how.
When you're having these conversations and they're wanting something from you, like from on the lending side, and they're so nice and sympathetic, but as soon as you like deny what they're looking for, they're like F you, like go rot in a hole, like they switch on a dime as soon as they figure out.
You're only as good as the last thing you did for someone. A lot of times in business, I feel like you have to give without expectation, and then if you're expecting that reciprocity, then you're going to be disappointed. Like you're just setting yourself up to be upset.
And I'll say with just on that religion note, it's not that like all the religious people are bad. It's just if that's what they lead with, if that's the first thing they tell you.
Yeah,
because they're trying to like establish trust in some way that isn't warranted yet.
Yeah. That shouldn't be what you do. Like people that truly are like good religious people don't generally lead with like, because I go to church, you should trust me.
Well, that's why every Ponzi scheme is within your like a tighter group.
Within your sphere.
So it's going to be it's going to be a part of a group you're already a part of. So it's going to feel like an inner thing.
Yeah. It's like all the multi-level marketing schemes. Right. Yeah. That was like the whole thing. That's why like some of the people crushed with that, because they would be the first one that had like isogenics, and then they go to like their kids' school, their churches, their local neighborhood barbecues.
There was a couple people here that just got popped for that. One, I don't know if y'all are aware of Pinky Cole, who did Slutty Vegan. A restaurant.
What?
She's not.
That sounds great.
Is that a real sentence that you just said?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's
I'm gonna
at
Google
least in the
this.
Southeast. Like,
I didn't think you guys were allowed to say words like that down there.
You guys have vegans in the Southeast? Slutty vegan, you're right.
well, we have to pray afterward, like count rosaries or something. I don't know. Clearly, I don't know enough.
I'm going to look this up, and my algorithm is going to be off.
But
I know, right?
she is absolutely not a Ponzi scheme, but she got money. She got some private equity money for her restaurant from, I believe it was the Shake Shack folks. And then it just, should I say allegedly? I don't know how to make sure that she's filing for bankruptcy now, and she's on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
No shit.
And she's on a hard PR mission to like rehab, because all that money went away. And she's saying, "Oh, well, I had the wrong people in the wrong seats, and they weren't taking care of the business the way they should have," and like distancing herself.
So this is gonna be hard because it's hard to distance yourself from like a menu that's got one night stand, sloppy toppy, fussy hussy, Hollywood hooker, hooker
also,
prize for a limited time only, big meat.
One of our tenants, she was like, she showed me a thing, and she was on like a tour, and I think she was on like a cash grab tour of like, "Hey, I'm coming to all these different cities, and we'll do vision boards together, and then we'll do this and we'll do that." And she's doing pop-ups, and she is fantastic at the marketing. But I think so many people, they get to that place where they feel like they get the money, and then they're worried because, you know, success shows up in overalls and looks like work. That's one of I stole that from somewhere. I don't know, but
Drew Wired would say something like that. That's a Drew Wired quote.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think that was Martin Luther King quote.
Are you serious?
Really?
No.
No, I was going to say, like, now I feel bad. Yeah. I don't know why.
She's writing a book. It's called Eat Plants, Bitch. So, if anyone wants to pre-order that.
She's great at the marketing, but the multi-level marketing / scheme person, I can't remember what it was. It was like and then there was another one that was like a doc. She made everybody call her doctor, but I don't think she had her. She wasn't an actual doctor. She wasn't actually a PhD. So it's just like
Theranos.
Yes. Or
I'm going to start making you guys call me doctor, because I technically have a doctorate from my.
You know what? I'll start calling you Dr. Dilly.
I'll give you
we
respect.
Can have rainbow names.
Yeah, I'll give you some respect.
Like radio names.
Dr. Dill Pill.
Yeah, I hate that.
Dr. Dill Pill.
Oh, there we go. Now it's going to stick. Can you do me a favor and change your Instagram handle to that, please?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Are you a PhD? Or?
No, I got my doctorate of pharmacy back in 2017 when I went to pharmacy school. It's technically a doctorate degree.
Yeah, so he's kind of a doctor, like how Dr. Dre is a doctor.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, he's like Dr. Drew.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Drew technically has one too. Our friend Drew Wired.
He seems like a real doctor.
He does.
He does. He could play a doctor on TV for sure.
He wears glasses and says things that are actually smart.
Yeah.
See what I have to put up with, Eric? This is a week-over-week basis.
I know.
Yeah. Well,
he keeps coming back though.
If you weren't filming one of your rentals, we wouldn't do this to you, Dylan. It's okay.
This rental is a 2.5% interest rate. So
I love how practical you are.
Oh, God. Yeah, just someone's got to do it. Standing out here,
well, they don't hand out doctorates
of
whatever for nothing.
Yeah, they do. If you go to Grand Canyon University, where you just pay for one.
Whoa!
So there's all these that's like that for-profit school. You've heard about this, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No,
like
dude,
New Hampshire
it's a thing.
Grand Canyon.
Yeah, there's these weird schools that like you literally they call them like diploma farms. Yeah. Because you just go and you just don't actually have to really even go to class. You just like pay, and then they will just give you the degree.
I feel like there's a couple of those in Florida too, like Florida Gulf Coast.
Mm-hmm.
This seems highly illegal. Like,
I don't know. I don't know how they get.
Dude, what is that? What's that online school? Like Phoenix, University of Phoenix. I mean, what else? Come on,
same sort of thing. That was the original one.
Like all those things, they disallowed those. I think in like 20. I don't know, whenever Obama was around, and then they brought him back afterward.
Yeah, and they make like crazy money. So like Grand Canyon, they're a big one that I always think of because they're always in March Madness, and they played in Spokane when the first round was here a couple years ago, and there was probably 400 students that flew to Spokane.
Yeah.
And we were sitting next to them. Like our section was right next to them. And I was talking to some of the kids and they said that the school paid for all of them to go.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. So because they wanted to, because it's marketing for the school. And they
great crowd though. They're a great crowd.
Oh, they were great. They were so rowdy. And then they were the 14 seed and they upset whoever they played in the first game. And so it was like such a huge thing.
Yeah. I remember I heard a story about it. Those schools have like a 2-week rescission period. So the salesperson will just be like loving on you as soon as you sign up and, you know, get books and get going for the first 2 weeks. And then you never hear from them again.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you? Gotcha.
Anyways. All right. Well, show about nothing today, guys. Good job.
That's what I'm here for. Like
we had fun.
Yeah.
I did learn something about graves. I'm pretty stoked about that, and micro salons.
Yeah. That is actually interesting.
I'm going to invest in both.
Did you say how much money you make on those? Can you share that?
They're typically, I mean, it kind of depends on unit because we've got like in units and all that kind of stuff, but they're typically on par with like a salon suite pricing, like a high quality salon suite pricing.
So like what does that mean? Is that like $100 a week? Is that like $500 a month? Is that like, I have no idea how that works for pricing.
Yeah. I mean, for the nicer ones around here, they're probably going to be, and I'll generalize with salon suites because I don't want to be committed to a time stamp of what the prices were. And then somebody asks like 5 years from now.
They're smart because people remember shit and they will bring it back.
Oh, they will absolutely remember that. They'll forget when you tell them not to put anything on the wall with adhesive. But they will definitely remember the lowest possible pricing you've ever mentioned ever. Yes. But I think mostly they're doing weekly. And, you know, I think around here, the going rate is probably 3, 4. I think some will even do like 500 a week because they'll have like double occupancies where people are like splitting the rent or, you know, thirding the rent.
I have a mixed use building and one of the tenants is a salon and she's got, I think 4 sinks in there, and her I guess it's different being like a salon suite, but I think her rent's only like $750 a month, something like that.
She can also do like commission, and I know we're trying to wrap up, but she can also do commission, booth rent, and they do different things with their different models depending on what they have.
Yeah, you got to have her add in waxing and upper rent. Waxing, eyebrows, whatever else.
You just give her a new business plan.
Yeah. You're going to start doing this and pay me $2,000 a month.
Bro, she does that and she can sell vapes out of the drawer. She's going to be so fucking rich.
One hitters.
Yeah, dude.
One hitter
like
quitters. Just
$5 for a taste of that grape vape. Dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
Great place to end, guys.
All right. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to today's show about nothing. Go and give Eric a follow. What's your socials, Eric?
I'm on Instagram. I just joined TikTok because of the salon suite stuff. But look up Eric Rubin. You should be able to find it. I don't have. I think it's like Eric B. Rubin on Instagram. Eric Rubin CRE on TikTok. I think.
There we go. Right on.
Oh, yeah.
All the teenagers that listen, they can check you out on TikTok.
Yeah.
So
lots of dancing.
Make sure that you stay appropriate in the DMs, though, Eric. You don't want to get bit like all the other famous celebrities out there. All right, everybody. Talk to you guys next week.
Bye. Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Sir Lancelot LLC, also known as SLA Capital, which, if you didn't know, is Dan and I's private lending company. So yes, we are sponsoring our own show, but what you going to do about it? It is our private lending company that offers hard money and DSCR loans to real estate investors of all types. So you can be a new investor, an experienced investor. You can be buying flips. You can be buying rentals, whatever. We can do everything. And not only that, but the rates that we offer are just as competitive, if not cheaper, than pretty much every other company out there. So whatever big company you've been working with, bring us their term sheets and I guarantee you that we can probably beat it. We have the same connections they do. We just don't have all the overhead and middlemen. So if you want to come and check us out, go to slacapital.com/keys and I will know that you came from the show. And by seeing that you came from here, when you get to closing, you will save $500 on your first loan with us. So slacapital.com/keys, we would love to fund your next deal. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you want more from us, you can shoot us a follow on Instagram. I am at Mike_invest. Dan is at InvestorMan Dan. And Dylan is at Dylan_does_deals. Shoot us a follow and send us a DM to let us know what you think of the show.